flare up the signals in the area, and bam! We have the location on a bigger boss. And we can use that one to get to the biggest boss. Let's go. So, we think there's a Strangelet capsule at the ritual site Dean Rebecca told us about. Do you think it was there all along?
It's possible. The way the Ionians talk about dark matter, like, even elementary particles of the universe contain a spirit in their way.
The capsule is vetiver this way. It's fading for me, but I hear the singularity as well, in the distance.
Like a groan. You hear it too?
As we've been speaking with the Ionians and moving through their settlement, I've been constructing a theory. It needs work, but the nascent form is this. After the collapse, few people were leaving Earth. More recently, we would notice. And the Ionians are truly humans. I think They must have come here during the Golden Age. Maybe even before.
You keep saying that word. Collapse? I've never heard the Ionians say Golden Age or anything like it, but they've mentioned a span of time that was good. Better? Could be it.
Lodi, you said your vocation was translating. Now that you've added the Ionians to your repertoire, how many do you speak?
Fluently 4, passively 9, only written 2. Not many folks to speak them with these days. I grew up speaking 3 at home. I've learned the others in school. Here and there, anyone who would teach me. Those 2 written ones, maybe I can learn how to pronounce them. The Ionians were overwhelmingly kind when I arrived. They'd never seen anyone they didn't recognize.
More than that, the Ionians are the only ones who know anything meaningful about what's beyond the altar, and are willing to speak to us about it.
How do we protect them? They can't stay like this, but they can't go either.
Your continued interference has been noticed.
The Conductor. Even out here, anyone who stands in the way of restoring your new Golden Age ends up trampled. You're here to make things worse.
Am I? I understand our designs for the future seem mutually exclusive to you. But I have ignored the Guardians since Nessus.
What power does this Maya bear? It's hives and nausea. Whatever paracausality she wields is fundamentally rule-breaking.
You chase a villain of your own imagination. My goals are not against you. They are above you. Now, leave us.
She's still going to throw everything she has to get us out of the way. Gate Lord incoming!
So, Maya wants to return us to the Golden Age. The Ionians haven't talked about it. When was the Golden Age?
It ended centuries ago. There's reason to suspect the Ionian ancestors arrived before it began. Imagine watching the world end from the edge of the system.
What world?
Earth.
When?
What do you mean, when?
I mean, what do you mean the world ended?
There is no way you don't know.
Stop.
How long ago? How long? When did the world end?
So many records were wiped out. We don't have an exact number. Hundreds of years ago.
Gone. Are you kidding me? Just like that? There was an apocalypse, and it's ancient history, and that's it. But didn't someone think to etch a date in a stone or something helpful? There's no time capsules, no bunkers, just gone?
And I can't undo any of it.
Lodi. That would have never been possible. Surely you know this.
No. I don't know.
You're not the first person to wake up lost. I'll tell you what I tell the others. The Golden Age rose and fell, and then so did the Dark Age. There were few of us then, and survival barely eked out. But we did. Humans live. We built a city. In time, there will be more.
There were hundreds.
I know. Can you tell me what you do remember?
What does it matter now? I'm sorry. I was... sorry.
It's such a simple question, but I know. I remember stars.
I used to drive out into the country to see them. As bright as they were hundreds of years ago.
Oh, always used to take my breath away.
Looking up, realizing all over again how much more was out there that nobody saw. I guess the stars aren't such a wonder anymore. Out here.
There are still mysteries.
Their identity is so tied to this place, to this work. I wonder if they would be happy if we evacuated them to the city. To take them away from it would be the same as if we left Soul and the Traveler behind. Our purpose becomes null.
I need a little Eric. Guardian, come find me in the temple.
Lodi, are you there? Everything okay?
No. I can't go back. How long ago was the collapse? Were any of you there?
No one alive was there. We can still see skyscrapers.
What cities?
None. The collapse was centuries ago, Lodi.
This is bad. This is extremely bad.
Lodi?
Just put the damn thing in the thing. I need to figure out how to word this.
I hear you had a run-in with that Archon fellow. Or his cutouts, anyway. Apparently he's the leader of these exiled Elixni, but nobody's seen him in a long time. A real recluse. The Ionians say he can speak through the mouths of his followers. Like some kind of psychic thing. But that's absurd, right? Have you seen this little ventriloquist act? Huh. Well, I'll believe it when I see it myself. I suggest you do a little bang and burn to draw out their leadership. Once we know exactly who we're dealing with, we can do a more realistic threat assessment.
I haven't been very deep into the Exiles Accord. They aren't fond of visitors. This architecture seems a little out of the box.
We've dealt with Elixni houses before, but this does feel different.
Lodi, I need to be frank. I don't buy your story.
Yeah. Well, you don't know the half of it. If I wasn't me, I also wouldn't buy my story.
What do you know about whatever brought you here?
Nothing. I woke up here in a singed suit after the most insane fall of my life. It seems the local Elixni had developed a parallel form of teleportation. They're using dark matter to create portals. If we want to infiltrate their sphere of influence, we'll need that capability. Mr. Drifter says you've got the skills for a smash and grab, so I suggest we go loud. Get us a sample of that tech and we'll be in business.
This must be the House of Exile's new teleportation tech. It's mounted in an old cannon frame. That's handy. Scans show the power cell and space inverter have been tampered with. Those mechanisms have dark matter cores. They'll wear out fast. It looks like this mobile unit creates an entangled link between a jump pad and wherever you're aiming. Just be careful what you pointed at.
Good work out there. You've got some real moves. Normally, agents that skilled at wet work have checkered past. Makes me wonder how you came to be so dangerous. With expanded access, we can investigate those Elixni in earnest and find the truth about this so-called Archon. I've got some ideas on that. Catch up with me later to get started.
I've made myself a contact within the Elixir ranks. Apparently not everyone is happy with the way things are being run.
You little sleuth.
That's the idea. Anyway, there's apparently a power station nearby feeding a lot of juice into something off-site.
All right, Guardian, this has to be the house's power plant. There's a massive current moving through the cables around us. And gravitons.
My informant Kielsk tells me that power is going straight into a warship.
If we can get to a power plant's controls while it's charging their ship, we can send a lethal surge to it from here before it ever leaves port.
Crafty. And it'll buy time to hunt down the Strangelet capsule in the Accord. If we stop the singularity from expanding, stabilize Kepler, maybe they'll stand down.
A fat chance we talk a psycho like that off a ledge. He's a true believer in whatever psychos believe in.
They aren't leaving us many options. We need to reach the anomaly.
Deathless, why have you come? Glimpses are seen of your actions, but your motive ever shrouded. When my house found Saul, saw the great machine with your world, we left in defeated peace.
It looks like this station is actually drawing some form of power from these native cyto colonies. So, the slimes are the generator?
This whole place is wired like a rat's nest. That's worse than my ship.
Guardian, patch me into a console and I can override that barrier.
The Deathless was foretold. See how they must kill as prophesied? Kiver Sight warned me of this final test. Now be resilient, my house.
Look alive, hero. They're piping in splinter mines. Crazy sons of crabs are gonna cause a damn cave-in.
You're on bomb defusal, Guardian.
Lavask sure likes to talk, making a show of us barging into his house. Maybe we pull his moxie out from under him and he lets some intel slip.
Unless he sees that coming. All this prophecy talk. Back in my day, you kill a fella fair without knowing the future.
You think he's really clairvoyant? Okay, Guardian? We need to find a way to overload that control panel.
Once we do, the immense surge of current will wreak havoc on whatever warship the house is trying to power up.
Probably why they tried to blow us up. I guess they're trying to unplug. We should hustle up.
Like vile Vex, the Deathless is violence-driven. They cannot be turned away by reasoned words. Only blood.
Mighty Archon, we hear your prophecy. The Deathless kneels before the Giver with your blessing. Just open the way.
Will what now?
This was not our tricks. You conspire with metal invaders to keep us from the Giver. To draw our house into folly. Devout Resilisk, your work is done. Bring these walls down on the Deathless. Show your Archon true faith. This world will slip into unknown spaces, as I have seen it. Exiles with it, their death is fated to be reborn.
Well, what's your next plan? Stand there with guns pointed at each other until someone gets cold feet?
So the Archon didn't take the bait, but he mentioned being kept from the Giver. Sounds like, despite their push to the Singularity, something's still cutting them off from it. That means we don't have to rush right in unless they make a move. Maybe there's somewhere else we can apply pressure.
You're a kid. Those things been shooting at you since you landed on this dump, and you still haven't pulled your piece.
That's right. Unlike you, I don't prefer a gun to solve my problems when questions work just as well.
Enough! We may have knocked out their power, but the Archon's still out there. We'll need to be ready when they make their next move.
You sure your informant ain't running us around in circles, Square?
Kielska's risking a lot just to speak with me. And I've vetted them, of course.
Yeah, you're probably right. All those ones that tried to kill us are just bad apples.
People aren't all one way or another. That's what makes this interesting.
I've been talking to that drifter fellow. Not a name I'd self-apply, but I like him. He understands what it's like to be stranded far from home. Anyway, he was telling me about these aliens who are giving the Ionians such a hard time, the Elixni. Apparently, they normally live on something called ether. Huh. Seems like you already have some experience with it. Interesting. The locals say these Elixni augment their supply with dark matter. Who knows what physiological effects that's having. Might be the reason they're so hostile. I suggest you assess their production lines. If we learn how the dark matter is affecting them, it might give us some leverage.
Team, I've got some intel from my informant.
Informant? Well, well. First it's a contact, then it's an informant. They're taking a liking to you.
Maybe a way to help the house calm down and see straight again. I'm sending coordinates, but keep on that heading.
Lodi, Drifter, checking in. How goes your recon on the House of Exile?
The Guardian's handling the situation well, but Miss Ray, to be honest, I don't like this. There has to be a way to de-escalate the situation.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I've been watching the house from the derelict, and they are one ruthless group.
Do they appear to be in league with the Conductor? That would tell us something at least.
In all my dealings with the Exile, she hasn't come up. I have reason to believe this Archon is a lone actor.
Mr. Ghost, you should be nearing a refinery or some kind of drilling operation. Coordinates incoming. I think this is where they're processing their ether. Maybe we can disable their machinery until the Ionians can correct the process.
Okay, I see it from up here. Derelict scanners are picking up all sorts of weird gravity fluctuations, and a whole heck of a lot of exiles.
Orin says these trains are like quantum-entangled objects, held in superposition across the fourth dimension. We're through. Now to disable the Exile's dark matter refinery.
I wish it was as simple as talking to them. Last time I tried, I got shot at, and it wasn't my Lixney accent.
They get real touchy sometimes. Sensitive little crustaceans.
Guardian, I'm reading some highly charged energy through one of these pipelines. Lodi, did the Ionians ever explain why they stopped working with the House of Exile? From what I gather, it didn't end well.
I got to talking with one of the old pilots who gabbed on the subject a bit. Ionians tried to synthesize ether for the house.
Why? It's not a simple job. Leave it to those servitor garbage disposals. Matter goes in, ether comes out. Easy.
Except here, everything's imprinted with dark matter, which they apparently want to extract for a pure conversion to ether. The Ionians say it shouldn't be harmful, but the singularity seems to make it toxic to the elixir.
That's it.
You think us sick, but I am mighty. Exile is our teacher, our home. Our rifles are many. Our will is anointed by the giver.
That's strange. It doesn't have enough juice to charge the relay. Maybe we can overcharge the cannon somehow. Guardian, it's supercharging the cannon. This is the house's central refinery. My scans are going a little haywire, but that can't be right. These pipes are operating at alarming pressures.
Let me fill you in on a little secret. None of House Exile's gear has safety regulators. My kind of people.
Hey team, I've seen those little flying bots play hot potato delivering dark matter down to your proximity.
I have an idea. Guardian, a concentration of dense matter could send the whole system over the edge. Let's look for those shanks. I think we can fit under the grate with the pipeline. You were right, Lodi. This scan's like dark matter, wrapped around an artificial gravity well.
Oh, don't worry if it doesn't fit. Just jam it in there.
Pressure's increasing, but the pipes are still holding. We need more.
Incoming exiles. Crack your knuckles and rack your slides.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but they seem intent on a fight. Their leader doesn't sound like he's crazed or confused. He has an agenda and a voice to wield it.
Seen a lot of those types in my time.
Maybe we could still reason with him. Lavask, the House of Exiles and the Ionians used to be allies. Don't turn your back on that. Let's look for a solution. Together.
Fools, scholars hold our ascension for their distant study. No more. We will feed on the giver, drink of it, enter its horizon.
It's barely holding together. One more, Guardian.
Entomb the deathless. Protect our ascension.
Well now, that went, great.
It did. We learned the house centers around this giver. Watch your flank, Guardian.
You feed their greed, speak their human lies. Ionians want us truth blind, to keep the anomaly's sight from Elixni eyes. Our voice is a raised spear, arc sparking. See it against the black space sea. Our banner. We suffer. All suffer.
I came here thinking these Elixni were poisoned and needed help. But this... like a bunch of holy rollers.
More exiles between you and the exit.
This Archon has a stranglehold on his people. They're gonna follow him right into the grave.
I have seen your doom. Your fall. Spread across many visions, many possibilities. Only one must strike true.
That pilot I spoke to, he mentioned the Archon, Lavask, wasn't always the leader of the house. But one day he starts getting visions, next he gets a taste for politics.
A gift from his giver.
The giver and the singularity sound like synonyms, but I can't see how a black hole gives anyone anything.
Given what we know, my hypothesis is that the source of the Holy Singularity, as the Ionians call it, and the Exile's giver are one and the same.
Ikora, the Nine invited us here. It was 3. The thought just... It's like it unlocked in my head.
Three didn't just bring us here to deal with the Archon.
Agreed. What does the planet care about a single Elixni? Either way, we need to neutralize the threat he poses to the Ionians. I've seen leaders like Lavask before. He doesn't want a war. He just can't look weak in front of his people. Could we offer the Archon safety in the city for technology? I bet they have a solution to the temporal disturbances on Kepler.
You can't just shove a power-hungry maniac in the middle of the city and expect it not to go off. Reality is, your idea is the fastest way in the world to lose the last safe place on it. I ain't losing anything else.
I've heard a lot of saber-rattling old men say that same thing. They all had one commonality: fear. Guardian, I have a hot tip from my favorite informant. That ship we cut the power to, the Archon's on it. We stopped it from being operational, but he's determined to get it airborne.
Wouldn't be the first catch you've stormed, Hero, or the first house you've toppled.
I don't have the ship's location, but I might have something just as good. Goes by the name Prime Servitor, and they're holding the Strangelet we need. This will either draw the Archon out so we can deal with him, or at least weaken his authority and delay whatever he's planning to do to the Singularity with that Elixni warship.